I forgot to add to my last video how to do a cave. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cave for CentrED. And that will have to deal with adding this lovely guy right here. There's textures here. You want to make sure that you grab the right sort of textures for your map. So, that being said, we'll go ahead and we will add this black guy. I have to make sure, since Tin Man had actually edited this, I have to set this at 75 right here so I can actually add the entrance to my cave. I might actually want to make this a little bit. Actually, I'll just go ahead and start working on the cave entrance first. So, cave entrances aren't that hard. You have to make sure that you have this little black guy. We'll make sure that the tools, or that the thing that we've selected is actually walkable. So we've got this. Then we have to add our cave edging, which will be this guy. So we want to make sure that our entrance is set -75. We want to make sure that this guy is higher than that. So we do this, we actually have to set this, raise this by 20, just to make sure, because we have to make sure that there's a roof. So 21, we have to make sure that our roof is there. So we've got this, we've got the roof. So you just want to make sure that your roof is there. Make it look normal-ish. Raise this by 20. We've got these little edges here. We have to make sure that we edge it. Edging is definitely going to be very important. Then we probably want to set this to -55 for the map right here. So put this at -55. Lower this guy right here a little bit. We want our cave to look natural, so so now that I've got this sort of entrance, you have to make sure that you round it, make sure that it looks good. You want it to look natural, so you have to round your edging in some locations. So now that we've got this nice lovely cave entrance, we're going to want to make sure that we raise these by 20 or 30 in some of these areas. So that way it actually looks like it's part of messed up. That way it actually looks it's part of. So I'll actually set it at -45, so that way I can actually get it to look more, that way it'll actually be better here. And then we've got to add height 10, make it all random. I'm gonna make all of this a little bit more random. So when it comes to my caves, I want to make sure that it'll actually be a cave. So I've got my caves. I want to make sure that the miners can get into them. Now we add the statics for the caves. So I'm going to go ahead and filter and search, and I'm going to grab this guy, these guys right here. Now, of course, I've got to randomize it, fix the height to, don't know, just randomize it, fix the height to, you actually have to fix the height to the entrance to your cave. Oops. don't want this to place randomly. Alright, so now I've got to bring down my visibility so I can see into my cave. And then I've got to actually have show on the ball on right here. So I might actually want to make this a little bit lower right here. Alright, when it comes to your cave, you want to make sure that you have an entrance to it. So I've got my entrance right here. And caves, especially if you're building into the mountain, have to be statics. You can't really get around that. I'm going to go ahead and make this cave look like it's all sorts of tunnely. Then got a pretty good cave going on here. But it's not done with that. You've got to have your edging for your cave. So I go ahead and I'm going to grab these guys right here and make my cave entrance a little bit more random. I also have to bring this guy down some more to make sure that my entrance is where I need it to be. So as you can see, I'm going to have to actually flatten this out down to 75. So that way I can actually go in. And this is mostly because, oops, and I added 10 to it. This is mostly because of the fact that, as you can see, now those statics are showing. I don't want them to show. And I will also have to kind of make it so then it looks like it's part of. I have to actually color the statics right here 0 or 1 as it actually is. So that way it actually shows up. So now that we've got that, all I have to do now is I just have to add to the static. Alright, then I have to bring this down now. There we go. Now I've got this. And all I have to do is draw on this, and this should be a cave by the time I'm done with it. And that's basically how you build a cave. You have to build it with statics, the cave statics, and you have to build this outwards. And if you look, it looks like a normal cave, especially if I remove the ball. I have to remove this guy right here, that static right here, but it's, it's basically what you would expect to see when you're building a cave. So there you go. That's how you build a cave.